As we speak, a historic level of fraud and taxpayer theft is now being uncovered. Guess what? In Congresswoman Omar's Minnesota, we're told the amount stolen could be in the billions. The administrator for the Centers for Medicare Medicaid, Dr. Mehmet Oz, is on now, and he has been tracking that fraud, and he's here to explain it. All right, Dr. Oz, you know more about this than anybody. We know fraudsters in Minnesota over $1 billion. I'll give you one example. If you look at the autism program in Minnesota, 2018, we spent $3 million. Now, 2023, the last year we have numbers for, $400 million. Okay, and how much of that is going into the Somali community? Has that been institutionalized?
They've weaponized fraud and corruption. Talking with the CMS team that I'm blessed to work with, they say they've never seen anything like this as an abject dereliction of duty. And I think what happened, and just becoming clearer now, is that the Walz administration knew there was a problem. Whistleblowers were saying, this money's being stolen. You gave a great number with autism. I can regale you with a bunch more. But nobody wanted to rock the boat because it turns out Somalians overwhelmingly vote for Democrats. They felt it would look bad for them to go after these people that they knew were guilty. And it was the Somalian community, in fact, that it finally came forward and said enough is enough. And we see people buying luxury cars, shipping money back to our home country, maybe even to terrorist organizations. And it was with that urging we finally found out what was happening. But here's the deal. President Trump's not going to tolerate this. Understandably, no American should want their tax dollars being siphoned off to Somalians living in Minnesota, who then ship it over to Africa or other places where it can be used for purposes that it was not designed. They are taking away the benefits that our most vulnerable desperately need when they steal from autistic children or from homeless people, people with substance use disorder. So we made a very clear line in the sand. By the end of this month, we need some type of a written plan from Governor Walz's team. Every week we want audits. We're demanding this. And by the end of January, if they have not cleaned up this disaster, this mess, then Governor Walz should start looking for loose change under his couch, because we are going to shut down funding of these programs, the 14 additional programs, besides the one for transportation that we already, or rather for housing, that we already shut down.
Well, $2.6 million, what was originally proposed, now it's over $100 million?
For that one program, but you add them all. And Sean, here's the thing. These programs were designed for the sickest of the sick, people who are vulnerable. Imagine what happens if you're a child on the autism spectrum, mom and dad are barely keeping things together, and all of a sudden every other kid on the block and every kid in the Somalian community has autism. And all of a sudden, you've got these massive increases in expenditures. You can't get access to care. And now we've got to come in and clean it up. What happens? These kids get hurt. The same for homeless people who desperately need housing short term when they get out of a hospital. What about getting transported to a clinic to get your dialysis? All that's going to go away, Sean, because the Somalian community figured out a way of hacking the system. And then when they weaponized it, nobody was watching. And Sean, this is the part that gets me animated. It's not just in Minnesota. It's the worst that's ever been in Minnesota. But you go to Los Angeles, you've got these ethnic mafia groups that are able to hack into our hospice systems. They're destroying home health care. There are 5 times more durable medical equipment suppliers in Florida than there are McDonald's. We think the Cuban government's involved there. We broke up a $15 billion multinational criminal organization based out of Russia. But again, if they get the money, it doesn't matter. We have to stop the money from leaving the building. And that's what President Trump wants us to do by working across agencies to shut down these scandalous efforts.
And Walz was warned by whistleblowers, and he didn't want to pay attention. He didn't want to alienate a big voting bloc. Dr. Oz, great job, and keep us updated. That's a lot of taxpayer money that's being stolen from our kids and grandkids and people in real need. Dr. Oz, thank you. All right. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.